So I am almost positive that there's going to be lag during this time, but guess what? That's okay because we're still going to get work done. So if you are watching this live with me, welcome, welcome. I'm trying something new, trying something different, and I would love feedback on how it's working. Um, Let me actually. Okay, just put a pause on the music. So I am getting some stuff done. I know I have to get work done, and I figured why not live stream and do a little bit of body doubling co-working with me. So if you also have things to get done, whether it's like organizing, cleaning, work, studies, because if you're here, you already know what this channel's all about. Um, but I am going to try to do 4 sessions of 15 minutes. And so during those 15 minutes, we'll be quiet, the music will be on, just active working. And then the 5 minute breaks, we can check in, talk about it. I'm just going to talk about what I got done as well. So if you're watching this over on TikTok, because I'm also live over there, then it's going to be a different experience for you. If you are watching the YouTube, you get to see, and this was actually recommended to me, Spirit City, not sponsored, not an affiliate of it. I would love to. But I have been falling in love with it and I'm working really hard to unlock the fox because that's all I need. Um, so yes, I have a couple things that I'm going to be getting done. Otherwise, let's get started. So let me put the music back on and here we go. And it will be a little laggy and I apologize for that, but All right. Da, da, da. Okay. I'm gonna move this over here so I can still see it. Okay. So for me, the hardest part was getting into websites. So I'm trying to create some new resources, some free, some paid, based off of questions that I've gotten because they're like recurring questions. I'm getting them a lot, and rather than wasting time, not necessarily mine, but like someone else's, like, okay, I have to respond and like type it out or something. I really want to just be like, I have the thing right here. Like, you don't have to wait for me to respond personally, here's the answer to that question. And some of those questions are around, actually, I already have something for motivation, but about restarting languages. And I know that's been coming up a lot. So something around that, something around like taking action in your language. So, like I have a few different ideas, but I needed to grab the one, but I realized I have 2 videos on restarting, and I'm trying to pull from that. So it just took a while to get the video and then to have it uploaded into my resource so I could pull the questions and the things that I shared. It took the 15 minutes to do that, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do right now is actually go through the things that I've talked about here. It's almost like a 4-step process, and then design the resource for it. Yeah, I like this. Okay, this is good. I don't think I've unlocked any new. Oh, we still have time. Oh, and if anybody's wondering, if you're watching on YouTube and you're like, why is your screen like that? It's because if you don't know this about me, when I play games, and this is like a not game on Steam, I tend to change the language of them. That's how I sort of study and work at the same time. And so this is in Italian because one of the newest languages that I'm focusing on is Italian. And I have learned through my own experience so far that it's a lot more similar to French than Spanish. I assumed it was going to be really close to Spanish. So it means that I can read and understand a lot more than I thought from the beginning. And also I figured I could get the immersion. So it's in Italian right now. Sometimes I switch it around, but in general, I tend to do a bunch of different languages. I'll do Spanish, French, Japanese, Korean. Sometimes I have played games in Mandarin, but not really. And I am scared to play anything in Russian because I do not understand enough and the words intimidate me. But I feel like that's a sign that I need to start. If I don't do it before the end of the year, then I think I'm going to make that my 2025 goal, is to play a game in Russian a certain number of times. But yes, if you're watching this on TikTok, it might be a little more confusing because you're like, there's no timer. What are you talking about on your screen? It's because all the fun stuff is unfortunately on YouTube. Fortunately, unfortunately, depending on who you ask. I was able to live stream on TikTok from my computer until they changed the expectations, and then they moved it. So now you have to have 10K followers, I believe, on TikTok in order to do the desktop version. And so I lost the access that I had to the desktop version, which means I'm streaming on my phone from there. But that's okay. In a little bit, because the timer's going, we're going to start our second round of 15 minutes. So let me know in the chat, either on either platform, what you plan to get done. I'm going to continue with my process of figuring out these resources I want to make. So this will be my the second one, the plan for the thank you week, new stuff. That's what I'm doing right now, number 2 on my to-do list. So let me know what you're working on. We're gonna have 15 minutes of quiet working, and here we go. The timing was perfect. right. So, second round of Pomodoro. How did it go? How did it go for you? What were you able to get done? Maybe you're just here for the vibes, which is also valid and fine. What did I do? So I have mapped out the first of backtrack. I was originally going to do like 8 new resources. That was me last week. Me last week was very ambitious. Me over the weekend was like, that's funny, Bront'e. That's not happening. So I figured 1, 2, 3, 4. So half of that. And I'm trying something a little bit different this year. So obviously you guys watching right now, or the replay, because I'm going to keep it up, you get a little sneak peek of what I'm doing. I'm doing a little bit of a like thank you to everyone who like follows and subscribes and is on my email list and getting the newsletters. And so instead of sort of doing what so many other people are doing around this time, which is Black Friday sales and discounts on resources, I've done that for 2 years. I had a whole catalog that I would send out a couple weeks before. It's a whole thing. It's glorious. And I still want to do that in the future, but maybe I'll do that as a spring thing instead. I was like, why don't I just give you guys stuff for free? And so I'm working on some free resources based off of questions that I've received from people in my Facebook group, questions that I see on in comments on my content, and then also things that I hear being brought up inside of Fluency Mastery Lab. So a lot of the questions that come in there, I do give more coaching feedback and responses and recommendations for. But there's a version of that I feel is really valuable to people even outside of FM Lab. And so one of the things that I'm working specifically on is, I'm pulling it up right now on my iPad, is something around restarting languages. I actually asked this question over on, I guess a few different platforms, because I was like, it's that time of year where, let me not pause the music, but turn it down a little bit. Okay. It's that time of year where, end of November, we're getting into December. A lot of anxieties are coming up around getting things done, finishing the year strong. And also, I know that the people who follow me and watch me on all the social medias are also people who in January 1st are like, this is going to be the year. This is the time I'm gonna make language learning happen. This is the last time I'm gonna restart. And I know for myself, when I did that years ago, I kept restarting. And there's a lot of things that I didn't realize I need to keep in mind and do. So I've been checking in with people, and absolutely let me know for you as well. Like, have you ever restarted a language before? Have you done it many times? I think the criteria or the different levels I gave was like, you've done it many times, you've done it once, not at all, or like, I don't even want to talk about it, Bront'e, don't ask me. Like, it's a little scary. But yes, I have 2 videos up on my channel right now about restarting languages. One is basically a don't do it. But and really it's just about the fact that a lot of people default to restarting, which is not the right strategy. It can work, but you have to first figure out, is it even necessary? And then if it is necessary for you, I have a whole video on how to do it. And so I'm using those videos to help craft a resource that's really dedicated to it. Because I get this question a lot about restarting, especially for those of us who learn languages in school. So for me, for example, it's Spanish. And I learned Spanish for like 8 years in school, forgot everything, had to, take a Spanish 4 because it was strongly recommended. Couldn't really do much in that. And then after high school was like, man, I wish I knew Spanish, and had to relearn it myself. So there's many people that even some of the people I work with who've had similar experiences where their language studies, they've restarted. I remember restarting Korean a lot. I've told lots of stories about restarting a lot of the languages on my list, so there's no shame in that. But there's a right way I feel to do it, and a wrong way. And the wrong way is essentially assuming you have to restart from the beginning. So I'm going to keep working with that. The timer is almost up. We have our third Pomodoro, 15 minutes. Let me know what you're working on, and good luck. Right, that was number 3. How did it go? Before I start to share what I was able to do, I'm actually gonna update. I just want to change the. Oh, I forgot I could do that. I just want to update the. Let's go to the desk. No, let's go over there. And this is literally what I'll be doing right after this, is playing a game. What time? Okay, and then there was a song that I started. Was it this one? I had to listen to more of these songs so I can figure out which ones I really like. Okay, so what was I able to get done? I have it more sort of mapped out, fleshed out. I was trying to figure out if I needed to record a whole separate video, but I realized I think the YouTube video I have is going to work perfectly. So I'm almost creating a resource for that, so that if you're someone who's trying to restart a language, like not just watch the video, but watch and do. So I have that pretty much done. I think for this last 15 minutes, I'm just going to map out some of the others. I have like a list of ideas, like a whole, let me see. See if I can. Okay, it's very tiny because I'm on camera right now and you probably can't even see it because of the shine, but just picture this whole screen right now on my iPad, and then I'll show the TikTok people as well, although again, shine. Whole list of just free resource ideas, and then I have a separate page that's all of the things that would not be free but still really good resources that again are it's me thinking about questions that I've received through content, questions I've received in my free Facebook group, questions I've received in my community, and I'm like, okay, what resources can I create to help? Or if I already have the thing, which sometimes I do, I'm like, okay, I need to add this in as an additional like bonus response detail. Like for example, one of my members brought up they get Sentence Building Pro for free. It's one of my courses on the sentence building strategy I like to use. And then she was like, but Bront'e, how do I actually choose sentences? Like, how do I know which sentences to choose? And I was like, I don't think I talked about that. So we luckily did like a audio style coaching, and I have the audio for it. So now I get to add that in as a resource for people to get that course. And I think some of my resources might get the same sort of facelift in a way. But yeah, so I'm going to spend the last 15 minutes, one more round of things, so I can check this off as a thing that I did for today. The bundle admin stuff I'm probably going to do later. The community work I'm definitely going to do later because I can't do it on my computer at the same time as this for right now. But if you are watching again on TikTok or on YouTube and you're not already subscribed and following, please make sure to do that. It helps me out a lot. And also drop your questions as well. So if you have questions about how to do something in your language studies, a lot of my tips and strategies also apply to life, because I've had so many people I've worked with that are like, I didn't realize how much this is going to impact outside of language studies. Like, I came here to figure out how to create a plan, and now I'm realizing that when I'm distracted even outside of language learning, this strategy is what I need. So if you have questions, let me know, drop them in the chat. And if this is the replay that you're watching, drop them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them directly with another piece of content, with another resource, whatever makes the most sense, so that I can support you with your language studies. And by the way, I realized I didn't do like a formal intro, but my name is Bront'e, by the way. And I am a language coach, so I help people go from frustrated to fluent in multiple languages. That's my thing. So yeah, we got a couple seconds left. I'm going to, with this last round, work on planning. I'm going to choose the 4 resources that I'm going to be sharing or creating and then sharing for my sort of thank you to everybody over the next few days. So let me know what you're working on. And last round, Let's do this. 1 hour. We got this. All right, that was our fourth and final set. And I will say I did get my plans done for which ones that I'm going to do. I'm just going to undo this so I can see. I forget what else I have to do. Oh, no, we're good. Yep, new level. More money, yes. Oh, wait, that means... Did I get... Questo spirito. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so... Sorry, I just got distracted by the cute little creatures that you can get in this. The little spirits. Alright, so I finished my planning. I know which 4 resources I'm going to be creating. These are free, by the way. So if you are not already getting newsletters from me, then make sure to sign up. Any of my resources that you get for free will get you on that list. So there are a few in the links here on YouTube, and I believe like in the description of this video right now, there should be one, my language learning trackers, which are free. But if you get on there, then you're going to get access to it. I'm going to try to share it on socials, but just by default, I know everybody on the email list is going to get them for free. 4 resources. I'm working on some other things because if you don't know this about me, I am a creator. Like, I have so many ideas for things to make our lives easier, to make language learning more fun, to make it faster, or to take the pressure off of us to make it faster, because both are valid and needed. And so with that, I'm going to take a break because I already feel my brain buzzing. And then I am going to probably play a game for a little bit. And then the other 2 things on my list will probably happen later on for me. But this is a new thing that I have been trying out. This is the first day I'm trying this out. So if you liked this sort of structure to co-working here on my channel, let me know, because once I got this, I was like, this will be perfect because it has music in it. I think the vibe is really nice. I get to, Sims like dress myself up, which is really fun. But I know like some people who are here, like, I'm here for the vibes. And if you're just here to get the vibes, the experience, but you're not necessarily co-working with us, that is also perfectly fine. But yes, so free resources, one that I recommend, my language trackers, is in the description. I think that's everything that I wanted to make sure to share before we finish. So thank you so much for joining me for this co-working, co-studying session. I hope the body doubling was helpful, and I will see you next time in a live stream. Subscribe so that you don't miss out on them, because sometimes they're spontaneous like this one, and sometimes they are planned in advance. I try to let people know, but otherwise, thank you so much, and bye.